Happy birthday. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm reading the text message as we go live on air. Shout out to everyone over there in YouTube. Just saw the notification for the YouTube, so we are super excited to be here. Like my mother always say, thank God for Jesus. We are in the building. We are so happy to be here. I'm super excited to be here on this show. Why? Because it is a Toxic Talk Thursday. It is Thursday, July the 3rd, 2026, 2 minutes after the hour, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the almighty Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. Only place on this earth where you get your morning started right. Let me repeat that. Where you get your morning started right. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. We are here and we are in the building. We hope everyone's doing well out there. Hope your family's doing okay. Come on and join us for Toxic Talk Thursday. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. I said that already. Also, this is where you get your morning love. I've been saying this for years, but most importantly, it is the only place on earth where you get your morning started. Rizite on the Blizzoid. It's a beautiful day out here today on this Thursday. It's a special day, especially here in this household. Today is my wife's birthday, so super excited about that. I'm gonna show her some love on social media. Let me get some pictures of my wife, throw up on the board for social media. So it's just a nice day. We had a great time last night. We had a little family get together and we showed the love. You know, my wife's a little private, you know what I mean? And sometimes she don't like to come out like that. You know what I mean? But for those who know my wife in this chat room, you know she's the coolest chick. She just don't like to be seen like the rest of us, like LaShawn Haynes Jones. And LaShawn Haynes Jones, before we start the show, I was thinking about you because in the beginning of the week I was concerned because we were talking about the experience in the subway, and I just hope that you're doing well. You know I love you, sis. It's all good. Now, waiting for Miss Miko to come into the boards. And good morning, everybody. Good morning. Come on in and join us, man. We are here. I am 100% totally committed to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show feature Wake Up Check. Now, before we start, went to the doctor yesterday, went to my orthopedics doctor, and he said to me that I am a candidate. LaShawn, check this out. Oh, Princess, there you go. And one more time, y'all show my wife. You know, my wife is real private like that. You know what I mean? Like we bipolar opposites, but today's her birthday. And if y'all know my wife, y'all know she cool as hell. She don't like all this camera time like Princess and LaShawn and myself when we got our faces and showing videos and doing all of that. You know, some people are just private like that. And it's all good. So y'all show Mrs. Harvey some love. So I went to before we get Miss Miko coming in, she got the news and all that. You know, we're gonna talk. We got a lot to talk about. Mike Brown being the new head coach of the Knicks. I mean, if that was the case, they could have kept Tibbs. No disrespect to Mike Brown, I don't know, you know, whatever. But he definitely has the credentials. He already won 2 chips. He coached LeBron. He coached Steph. You know, he's definitely legit A1 head coach in the National Basketball Association. Remember, they used to call it the National Basketball Association? And they used to call the Mets. Did y'all know the Mets, the baseball team, is named the Princess? Did you know this? Did you know that the Mets were named the Metropolitans? It's short for Metropolitan. It's feel good if you just say things the way they really pronounce and say, right? Hey, Princess, what you doing tonight? Hey, let's go to a National Basketball Association game. Anyway, I don't want to go all over the place. So I went to my orthopedics doctor yesterday because I get these gel shots because I have heavy arthritis in both my knees from running those Bronx streets from back in the day. And I was a runner. used to run. Yeah. Yo, I used to run for my life. Used to run for the drugs. I used to run from the ladies. I used to run from. I was a runner. And throughout the years, I've accumulated arthritis in both my knees. So I get these gel shots, for the temporary pain of my knees every like 4 months. And guess what, guys? The doctor told me last year, he goes, listen, I think you're a candidate for knee replacement, but I think you could wait to 65. That's what he said to me. He goes, I think before Miss Miko come on deck, he goes, I think you should wait till you're 65. And I don't know about, I got a few doctors because I'm old as hell. I got a urologist. I got a regular doctor, the orthopedics guy, the mental guy, the ear, throat, and mouth guy. How many doctors y'all got? How many specialists you guys got in the chat room? Huh? Oh yeah, we got the Diddy news. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Diddy. I'm gonna wait for if Miko takes too long, we get into the Diddy. I put up a funny video on my Facebook page and my Instagram page about Diddy walking out of there, which he didn't, but we'll get into that. So then my doctor said to me, and welcome to the show, guys, only place on earth where you get the bongers started right. Don't get it twisted. Shawn Harvey is also myself doing comedy in Edgewater, New Jersey tonight with my homegirl, Monique Latif. So we're going to have fun. On the 4th of July. I didn't know anybody was doing comedy on the 4th of July weekend, but that's enough stuff. And then my doctor said to me, Princess, he goes, you remember when I told you that maybe we should wait till 65 so you could get those bionic knees? Miss Miko, where you at? What you hey on from? Where you at? You in there? Hey, yo, we need you in the building. So guys, so hold on, Miko. Let me just get this right. So my doctor said to me, he goes, last year, he goes, I think maybe you could get a knee replacement. You can wait till you're 65. Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. As you know, Harvey's 60 years old and proud of it. And then the doctor told me before we get into the whole situation, W.M. Dixon, God bless you. Miss Miko, good morning. Hold on, I'm gonna yield my time to you in a second. And then he was like, Mr. Harvey, we might need to push that up. I think maybe you might need to be, you're a candidate for knee replacement. And I think we might need to do this at the end of the year if you can hold on that long. And I'm like, Miss Miko, I'm like, the end of the year? And so I said, all right, doc, how long, like if I was to do this because I do have bad knees, let's put a double pause on that. I said, so how long is the recovery time? Because, Shawn Harvey is out here, as the young folks say, I'm outside. I mean, I make money indoors as well, but I'm just saying, I'm really outside. He said 8 weeks. So Ms. Miko, he said 8 weeks, and then he goes, you also can't drive for 6 weeks.
Woo! At the end of the year? Wow.
Yeah, at the end of the year. So my whole thought process was like this. Yeah, Jeff Johnson, 60 years old, brother. Thank God for Jesus. I put that Vaseline on my face like my mother always said. By the way, Miss Miko, the last time you was on the show, I forgot. My mother, you had this blouse on, right? And my mother said she wanted your shirt. That was the message she wanted me to.
I'm Mama Harvey.
That's the message she wanted to give. She wanted me to give. She said she needed that. When the shirt you wore on the last show you was on, she said she need that shirt.
Oh my God. What's up, Mama Harvey? I got you.
And Mama Harvey was like, yo, slap some Vaseline on your face and maybe you look a little better, because she said I was looking crusty about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So since I've been slapping that Vaseline on my face, I think that face has been shining. We're going to get into the Diddy thing in a minute. Let me just finish it. So, Ms. Miko, he said you can't drive for 6 weeks and you can't do nothing for 8. In 8 weeks, you should be good. So my first thought is, all right, at the end of the year. Okay, I get it. But the first thought was money. Money. The first thought was money. You got if I'm gonna be off for 2 weeks, I need about 20 stacks. there's no other way. There's
Right.
no because the bills keep billing.
Right.
Money needs to be still in there. Just because I'm shut down for a knee operation, that my creditors and my bill people be like, and
Right.
F you and your bionic knee. We need this money.
But Shawn, can your knee survive till the end of the year? Do you
Yeah,
think you
good.
got it in you to survive till the end of the year with them knees?
Yeah, because I get gel shots in the knees. They're temporary relief for the pain, but the gel shots are not working anymore like they used to. So that's a clear indication that maybe we might go on to the next step.
Okay.
So I said to him, all right, let me talk to my wife about this because she, you know what I mean? Like that's my life partner. I can't just be making a major decision like that without talking to the missus. And I'll keep y'all updated. It's gonna be either this year, at the end of this year, or the beginning of next year. Harvey gonna shut it down, and I'm gonna go on hiatus and get this bionic knee, and then but Ms. Miko, breaking news, it's both knees.
That's crazy.
But you can only do one knee at a time.
That is crazy. So you're going to do one knee, sit down for 6 weeks, and do the other knee and sit down for another 6 weeks?
No,
is that major surgery or is that considered minor surgery? What
no,
kind of surgery are you talking?
No, all this is major surgery. No.
Wow.
I'm gonna do one, God willing, if I'm still alive. I'm gonna do one knee 1 year and the next knee the next year.
So you're gonna be lopsided, you're gonna have one strong knee and one weak knee? You're gonna be lopsided? Yeah.
I think it's not my knees. I don't think I got strong hips. I need some hips.
Oh my goodness.
All right, guys, welcome to the oh, look, everybody, Sister Soldier just put the hearts in the chat room. Let's follow her lead right now and let's put these hearts in the chat room. And welcome to the show, guys. The only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, featuring the Wake Up team. That's the queen, the one and only Miss Miko. Miss Miko, how you doing today? It's good to see you. You're looking well.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm good. I woke up. I'm feeling happy. My phone ringing. Sorry, y'all. I went out last night. Had a great time with my friends, and it's just life is good. It's not raining. Thank God for that. It's not raining. It didn't rain all week, and it's not. Wait, did it rain Monday, Tuesday? It did rain on Tuesday, but that was it. It was a little thunderstorm, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's a holiday weekend. We got 3 days off work, so let's go. Let's go outside. Period.
Yeah, and before you came in, I was also mentioning that as well. Not only is it a beautiful weekend, Miss Miko, today is my wife's birthday. So
shout out to you, Tanya.
Yeah, so we're gonna turn up. We got the baby oil ready.
Not the baby oil. Not the Diddy oil. You got a Diddy oil on deck?
No, we got Diddy oil on deck. And we're gonna turn up. We had a great time last night. We're gonna turn up a little bit this afternoon. Then I got to run out and work. But guys, welcome to the show. Any place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show, Wake Up Team with the Queen, Miss Miko. We are here for you. Just please like, share, follow, subscribe to the Shawn Harvey Morning Show feature Wake Up Team. And I noticed y'all bypassing that Zelle donation. Y'all haven't donated in a minute because y'all real comfortable. Get on your asses. Get on your asses. They're going to Zelle right there and stop playing. Zelle right now. Ms. Miko, talk to the audience. I yield my time.
Y'all know the only thing I want to talk about, y'all. I want to talk about the verdict, and the damn bond. Let's get into it. So Diddy was charged. Well, he had 5 charges, okay? Of the 5 charges, he was convicted on 2. So charge 1, racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Count 2, trafficking Cassie, not guilty. Count 3, transport to engage in prostitution for Cassie, guilty. Count 4, trafficking Jane, not guilty. And count 5, trafficking to engage in prostitution for Jane, he was found guilty. Now, he was found guilty of 2 of the 5 counts. It comes with a maximum of 10 years in jail. So they're 10 years each. So that's approximately 20 years. But I don't think that he's going to get 20 years. It's his first time conviction. He's probably going to do way less. But Diddy thought that he was going to go home and spend 4th of July with his family where he belongs, as he said. However, the judge pumped the brakes on that and repeated what his defense attorney said, that he is a violent man, and the judge concluded he has no respect for authority, because after he knew he was being investigated by the feds, he still continued to engage on what he was doing. So the judge denied his bail. So Billy's gonna have to sit in jail until his October sentencing. And I don't know. Hopefully his lawyers get the little bail date moved up, but he's back in jail. But he's got guilty on the big one, so that's a good thing. What's your thoughts, Shawn?
Welcome to the show, guys. Only place on earth where you get your morning started right. Shawn Harvey Morning Show Wake Up Team with the Queen, Miss Miko. Let's get it. You know we bring the noise in the morning for years. I don't know if all these other podcasts could match up to the greatness over here.
Right.
Now that I said all that, I'll say this. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. They have railroad the Diddler. They got him they still got him in the Diddy Dome. Mm-hmm. I think this is a injustice by the feds because they were so embarrassed. But you're right. They was embarrassed by their poor performance because Diddy was not guilty of those two, the racketeering and the sex trafficking charges, which would have landed his ass a whole lot of time.
Right.
And then he was guilty of the other charges that Miss Miko just mentioned. And I think that because he's been in jail for 10 months already, mm-hmm. and with these charges with no prior records of sex trafficking and excursion and all this other crap, I don't understand, in fact, why the judge didn't let him out. But we do know why, because the defense lawyer couldn't keep his mouth shut and say, yeah, he poses a threat out there sometimes. And the judge even said that I'm using that against you along with the...
I was like, why would he say that?
Right. Diddy would have been out last night.
Right.
But Cassie's letter was also compelling to the court why she didn't want him back out because she feared for his life. I think that's all a bunch of BS, but I understand the tactics and the maneuvers of it. But for Diddy to be found not guilty is definitely a win. I got a feeling that Diddy will be out when the next court hearing. They want to sentence him, but sentence him to what? I mean,
they're going to sentence him to what he was found guilty of.
Right, when he was guilty.
10 years each. So that's 20 years in jail.
Right. So what I'm saying is this. He's already did 10 months in jail.
10 months and 10 years are two different things, Shawn.
Yeah, hold on. But what I'm saying is I think he's done enough time for them to come to a bail arrangement or a parole kind of thing where, okay, we're sentencing, we did time served on the counts and put him on parole. Like, do something like that. I don't know. But I just don't think that he should be in jail at this moment. Now, for what he's done, yes, we see how compelling it was. We see how nasty the Diddler is. We see how controlling he is. We see how he's a narcissist. We see how he used his power, his influence, and his money against other people. He's done that. But the other folks had a part to play in it as well. But I think he's been in jail for 10 months. I think for being a narcissist and being this controlling person, I think 10 months in jail is enough time for that. Free the Diddler. Get him out of the Diddy Dome.
Well, Shawn, let me let you know that the chat room is not agreeing with your ass this morning. They said, no. They said he needs to sit in jail. Sister Soldier is disgusted with crimes that he committed against women. Princess said, let him sit tight till October. He be all right. You right about that. Yeah, they're like, nah, he needs to sit this one out. Sit this one out, Diddy.
Yeah, this is a split decision. Every woman, or more 90% of the women are going against Diddy anyway. And for obvious reasons. Yes, he's dragged chicks on the floor. I'm not condoling that. He's definitely put hands on people. I'm not condoning that.
Right.
No question about it. I didn't. If that was the case, the feds should have allowed the state to take over the case where they could charge him with domestic violence, and he would have been found guilty, and he would have did 5 years in jail for that. The feds wanted to take over this case. So 90% of women, because of what they've been through in their own past experiences, and on top of what he's done to women, of course, they don't want Diddy to get out of jail. And then you're gonna have a small percentage of men like Princess and all these others that say keep him in there. He's been in jail long enough. I get it. What he's done is terrible. Is he guilty of certain? Is he guilty of certain crimes? Yes. But look at it this way as well. When Bernie Madoff and Harvey Weinstein and all these guys were charged with their crimes, they wasn't in jail. They were out on bail. And then when they got convicted, they went to jail. Diddy put up $50 million of collateral to stay out of jail. They still locked him up and kept him in jail for 10 months. And
all this they're gonna make an example out of him. You know that
exactly. So I think the bigger issue for me is the racism. And I don't want to throw the race card in there because like I said, what he did was wrong. But the racism with the black man, regardless of how much money they make, they still gonna say to us, we still gonna put you in your place. I think that's more of a bigger issue. No, and I'm not minimizing him dragging Cassie around. And remember, Cassie, and I understand the pressure of being in a controlling relationship. I don't know. I've never been in a controlling relationship, but from people that I've known in my life that's been in narcissist relationships with men that's overbearingly controlling, I get the fact that they could be submissive to this person and do things that they don't choose to do. But Cassie and 50 Cent baby mother, they were in relationships with this dude. And he told them, yo, I'm nasty. I'm a freak. After our honeymoon period is over, I want y'all to have sex with 3 other guys while I watch and masturbate. They knew this right then and there. They had the opportunity, and I do understand that they're under a lot of pressure. I get it. But they still had the opportunity to go, nah, I'm good. Because everybody that was close to Diddy wanted something from him. This man was almost a billionaire, so he had his own little kingdom around him, and he was out of control. We know this. Mm-hmm. He was out of control, disrespectful, controlling, narcissistic, just out of his mind. But Cassie was with him for years.
She liked the lifestyle.
A 50 Cent baby mother for years.
She liked the lifestyle. She wanted Cassie's position. And
when Diddy said to 50 Cent baby mother, she said, I don't want to do Frigos no more. He said, all right, well, I'm not giving you $10,000 to pay your rent, right? That's when she would have been like, all right, I'm out.
Right.
She continued the Frigo. That's why they found him not guilty on the drug charges and the racketeering.
Yep.
But everybody's so emotionally invested in it because of what he's done to these women, which I don't condone. But if I'm on the jury, I would look at the facts. Did he really commit racketeering? Did he do John Gotti type charges? No.
Right.
So everybody, see, and now what part did he have to play? Diddy's a knucklehead. He was under the influence of drugs and alcohol. He was a billionaire, and he let his guards down, and he didn't act responsible enough. As like no disrespect, like I don't want to compare. Like he should be living like a Jay-Z kind of a life.
We don't know what kind of life Jay-Z.
But I'm just saying, well,
we don't know.
But regardless, we know what kind of life Diddy was living.
Yeah.
So
but again, Shawn, because he lived that life, does that make him like? What is the crime with that? There's many people that don't have millions of dollars that are cuckolds, that like to do swing stuff. Like that's just what they do. That's not a crime. If it's two consenting adults, it's not a crime to do what he did. It's a crime the way he beat Cassie's ass. Yeah, that's a crime. But I mean, so you're telling me in your heyday, you met a chick and you flew her out to, I don't know, Puerto Rico for the weekend. You're trafficking. You're engaged in trafficking for prostitution because you paid for her airfare, flew her out there, and gave her the D for the weekend. Is that trafficking? That means all the men in this chat room and all the men in the world, they properly trafficked in their life. They should be going to jail, right?
Right. And right. And this is a great day if you're a freak in America, because you can continue to be a freak off. And you can then continue doing freak offs on your level.
Right.
On your level. Today, just like Houdini said, the freaks come out at night. The freaks can continue to come out at night because of this ruling. Of course, Diddy is an asshole. We know that. But some of y'all are so hell-bent in this chat room for him to do 20 years and spend the rest of his life. So you want him to spend the rest of his life in jail because he dragged Cassie and he was an asshole. And he was paying for all of this.
Right.
So you want him to spend 20 years in jail for this. And even as Miko just said it, people have done less with less money and committed more horrific sex crimes and still are out. So what is it? Is it more emotional based? This is not an R. Kelly situation. Look what R. Kelly did. R. Kelly was out of control. Had teenagers, held them hostage, peeing on people, wilding. This is not that. This is a bunch of people around Puffy that got mad at him because these people around Puffy was like, you know what? I'm going to get you, Puff. I'm going to get you. And remember, it was Cassie's baby father or husband that said to her, file the lawsuit because it was the day before the deadline. That's how all this started. I'm not condoning the behavior because Puff's an asshole.
Straight up.
But should he spend 20 years in jail for this?
Straight up.
I mean, okay. I'll agree with Ms. Miko. The most he should get is a year or two. He's already done 10 months. Is 2 years enough for him to act this way? And I know it's an unpopular opinion, and this is just my opinion, but I just think that he's done enough time for the crime. He flew people out. What about the text messages with Cassie sent to the dancers? And matter of fact, Punisher, one of I don't want to give a shameless plug, but Punisher, that's my man. We used to work together. Me and Punisher. And Cameo and all. I'm going to bring Cameo on this next week so we can talk about this. But even Cassie was sending text messages. Yo, come on out. We're going to do another freak freak off. I got the money. And even if she was doing it under duress, which she probably was, obviously, Puff was running things, she still sent the communications to another person.
Right.
And not one time with Cassie and Jane Doe, aka 50 Cent baby mother, not one time in the testimony were they like
not Jane Doe, aka not outing her. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm out enough. Okay. And that's one thing. Puffy slutted out 50 Cent's baby mother. Slutted her out.
He did.
Let's keep it real. And not one time that these women that would feel that they were being controlled ever sent a message or communication saying, Puffy got a gun to my head. I feel like I'm dying. Could somebody please help me, rescue me? I'm in a van. Oh my God. There's none of that. So he just been 20 years in jail for that? Free the Dittler, bro. He's an idiot. He's an asshole. He's a narcissist. He's a control fiend. Yes, he's a half of a billionaire. He's an extreme swinger. Put number one in the chat room if y'all ever lived a swinger's lifestyle. Because I used to work with swingers. I worked with swingers for 5 years. I know how these people get down. He's an extreme swinger. He's out of control. This is
How
a
you know how
man.
the swingers get down, Shawn?
I know how swingers get down. I've worked with a swingers organization for 5 years.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
know
asking.
these swingers are good people. These are really nice people. I have nothing wrong to say about swingers. I used to do comedy shows for swingers at least 4 times a year. I worked with the swingers organization back in the day. I stopped working with them because they wasn't paying enough money for me to work with them. But the people that swing, these are great people. These are productive members of society, and they have a sexual preference. Now, Puffy is a swinger, but he's out of control. He's a swing. He's
he's a swinger on steroids.
Yeah, he's right. Swinger on steroids. This is a guy who wants the man to drop the sperm in a woman's hand and rub it on his nipples. Pause. So he spent 20 years in jail for that? And shame on you people that want him to spend 20 years in jail. When the justice system railroaded this man and got him in jail without bail, he puts up his own house, $50 million of collateral, and they can't. And they say, no, you got to stay in jail because you're some kind of risk. And then he's found not guilty for all the major charges, and you still keep him in jail because his dumbass defense lawyer said that he might be a threat to Cassie. But y'all sitting there wanting him to be in jail for 20 years for all black men, and y'all know this have been railroaded by the criminal system for generations. And you seeing it right in front of your face, but you still want this nigga to be in jail for 20 years. He's an asshole. He dragged the chick. But ladies, put a #1 in the chat room. Have you ever been dragged on the floor by a man? And if you have, should that man do 20 years for dragging your punk ass? Yeah, give him a month or 2 in jail, but not 20 years for dragging you.
That's the maximum. He's probably most likely not going to get 20 years, but that's the maximum sentence. I think a habitual dragger is going to get like 20 years. But a dragger, a first-time dragger is probably going to get like, a year, 3 years, something like that. What you laughing at?
An habitual dragger.
Habitual dragger.
Exactly.
Some of these neighbors out here habitually dragging chicks.
Right. There are men out here, and I say it with the most respect, that are dragging chicks on the floor. Miss Miko's right, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But we saw Diddy drag her one time. He might have dragged her more times, but there's only one time that we've seen him do that. Is that a crime? Hell yeah. New York State wanted to charge him. California wanted to charge him for domestic violence. But the feds took over the case. Y'all would have been better off with the California putting up charges against Diddy for domestic violence. He would have been in jail longer.
Right.
But what is it really? Is it the hit songs? And then you want him in jail, but your punk ass gonna dance to the music. Chris Love is in the DJ in the comments talking. God bless Chris Love. Y'all want to go to Dallas? Y'all go hang out with my man Chris. I might even go down there for the New York Giants Dallas Cowboy weekend.
That's in September, right? I think September 11th or something like that.
Listen, I'm not even on the show, and I still might go down there. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Chris gonna play that Puffy music. He gonna play that bad boy. DJ is sitting there, you should be in jail for 20 years, but you still gonna play the music? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you people?
Well, he didn't get canceled the way R. Kelly got canceled, so I still hear his music on the radio.
DJ Tall Guy, well respected. There you go in the chat room. Dwayne Stanton Holmes, DJ Tall Guy. I don't know how he feels about this, but you don't think
he don't like it not 1 minute. He say no way in hell he gonna sit there and watch a man plunge his wife, and come off on it. He hates it.
But I bet you he'll play.
Needs to go to jail.
But I bet you
not with none of it.
But I bet you he'll play his music. But I
Tour guy,
bet
you
you,
playing Diddy music? Tour
yeah,
guy,
you
let me know
playing
you
Diddy
playing Diddy
music.
music.
Chris Love, keep it real. Put a number one if you playing Diddy music. Put a number two if you're not. Keep it real. DJ Tall Guy, put a number one in the chat room if you're gonna play the Diddy music. Put a number two if you're not. And keep it real. So y'all stop playing. He's an asshole. He dragged the chick around. Yes, that's domestic violence. He should be in jail for that. But conspiracy of racketeering, John Gotti charges, Sammy the Bull charges. No John Gotti charges. He was in a ring of a. They wanted to say that he was the ringleader of a criminal enterprise.
Oh, wait. Dwayne said he's still gonna pay. So did Chris Love. DJ Tour Guy and Chris Love said they still playing. Take that. They said they still gonna play it. They said it. They said, take that.
Right, exactly. This is the and fellas, thank you. See, these are grown-ass men. Fellas, thank you for your honesty. Thank you. So you want him in jail, but you're still playing the music. I'm put a number one in the chat room if you still partying the Diddy music. Let me give myself 100 number ones. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm still listening to that whole Bad Boy collection. Look, Miss Miko put some number ones in there. Let's knock it off.
Facts.
So you want him in jail for the rest of his life, but you still getting it. Let's knock it off, guys.
Facts.
I sympathize with Cassie. I sympathize with 50 Cent baby mother who got slutted out. He did her.
But you know what? He slutted her out. She testified against him, and he's still taking care of her. She's still taking the $10,000 a month. He's still paying her rent, and he's still paying her lawyer bills. That's weird. That's weird business.
So my whole thing is, I think this was an issue of like it's almost the equivalent of a disgruntled worker at the workplace. Everybody got mad because the diddler is in his Diddy dome. And everybody got mad and said, you know what? I'm telling on you because this is crazy and I'm not getting what I want to get. He had personal assistants working 24 hours. One personal assistant said he didn't sleep for 3 days. And he was only getting $50,000 a year.
That's crazy.
That means that's free labor. And you sat there for years and continued to work like that? You were supposed to leave immediately, but you stayed because of the law of the power of being around the diddler. So he's supposed to spend the rest of his life in jail for that? The diddler needs to fire the whole staff. Everybody's got to get fired. He's probably fired everybody anyway.
Yeah, he probably did. He needs to stop paying 50 Cent baby mother bills.
Yo, and 50 Cent, who doesn't love 50 Cent on Instagram? He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's petty as hell.
But 50 Cent, the roosters have come, the chickens have come home to roost because all that funny you doing, you never told us that Puff was slutting out your baby mother, bro.
That's why he hated Puff so much. He used to call her a little sex worker, remember? He used to be like, she's a little sex worker. We never knew what that meant. But 50 used to always say that. Now we know what that meant.
Right. So, guys, come on. I mean, I respect the opinions of everyone in this chat room. God bless you. I do appreciate the engagement of in the chat room, and thank you. I'm gonna have to side with Miss Miko. Okay, let's ask Miss Miko. She's the Miss Miko is on the small percentage of women, but Miss Miko, you think that Puffy should spend the 20 years to 30 years in jail, the rest of his life in jail for this?
Nah, bring that man home.
Exactly. Nah. And this is a woman.
No.
Bring him home. He should have walked out of that courtroom last night. He already did 10 months in jail.
Yeah.
For these two
Sister
charges.
Soldier said, Shawn, stop saying the rest of his life. 20 years is not the rest of his life. But Sister Soldier, you know Diddy's up there. 20 years might be the rest of his life. You don't know what's going to happen in 20 years with him in jail. He may not even make it out of there. He's more on the backside of life than he is on the beginning of life. So I don't know.
The man is 55 years old. 20 years, he's 75, he's
Yeah,
done.
that's like the rest of his life. Yeah.
I'm 60 years old. I can't spend 4 minutes in jail. I'm done.
Me either. I'm not the jail type.
What do you, Sister Soldier? What do you,
I'm
I
a
think,
fold like a chair.
see, I think there's some people that just didn't like the Diddler prior to all of this.
Yeah, he
You
used
got
to
some
cut off everybody. Mary J. Blige, Little Kim, DJ Khaled, all them people ain't come see him, come support him, did nothing. He needs to shut them down.
Yeah, or only and the weird one, the weird one was the only one that came through. Kanye West was the only one. He was the only one. If I was Diddy, you're absolutely right. I'm cutting off everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
They need to do
done.
a Russell Simmons and just get low and stay rich. That's it.
And this time, Diddy just got to do his freak offs different.
I think Jane's still going to do it. I feel when he come home, Jane is going to be right there. She give me stupid vibes. She's still going to do it.
And let's talk about the family. The family was there almost 90% of the time. All his sons and all the mothers and all that.
Graduated and went to prom during this trial. Their life changed. They had milestones during the trial, and they still got up and showed up every day.
Still got up and went to court. And this is one of the definitions of family first. Under heavy scrutiny from the media and from everybody that's sitting there judging them. Those kids, those adults came through for their father. They listened to all the brutal testimony. I'd be embarrassed as hell if I had my kids behind me and they was like, yeah, Shawn took sperm and put it on his chest.
That's nasty. Yeah, that's weird. That's definitely weird.
I be looking around my kids like this. Don't believe all of that. And they endured this. So shout out to the family. And Cassie and 50 Cent baby mother, aka Jane, they was trying to get the Diddler locked up for the rest of his life. It didn't happen. And if you think of it in retrospect, the Diddler didn't even have to give Cassie a payout. He didn't, because she went on court. She went to court and testified everything she did anyway. And part of their agreement was Cassie was not to talk about this unless she was in court.
And she was subpoenaed. She had to. She didn't want to.
Right. She was
subpoenaed. I don't want to sit in front of my husband and divulge all the stuff she was talking about. And he probably don't even know it. She probably told him some of it, but all of it, yeah. I don't think she wanted to do that. I don't think she wanted none of that out. None of that.
The only reason why they still together is because of the money.
The money. But I don't even know, because did they have a prenup? Was she wealthy enough to think ahead to sign a prenup with that man? Because if she ain't got no prenup, that's marital property. He could bounce and get half of that.
All right. I want you to look up something because, Mr. Dwayne is right before we get out of here. They're about to pass this bill called the Big Beautiful Bill. Look that up real quick for me, Ms. Miko. And while you do that, I just want to say this. This is put a number 1 in the chat room if you're enjoying the show today. Put a number 2 if you're not. Please like, share, follow, subscribe. Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring the Wake Up team. We are totally 100% committed to what we do here each and every day. And I forgot, the show is sponsored by You're Not Ready Ultimate Cruise, Ultimate Party Cruise, sponsored by the one and only Rob Jackson. That's it sells out of Miami, August the 2nd through the 9th, 2026. You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise, hosted by your boy, Shawn Harvey. I want to shout out to the folks in the chat room that already made their deposits. We are in the building. Y'all come on out. We're on the ship. We're going down to the west coast of Mexico. We're going to have hundreds of people with us, nonstop parties. I'll put the promo in the group room after the show. You're Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise. Matter of fact, Rob Jackson will be back on the show next Friday to talk about it. It's from August the 2nd through to August the 9th, 26. You can make minimum payments now, and reach out to me if you want some more information. That's the Rob Jackson You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise, August the 2nd through the 9th, 2026. We flying out of Miami. And then you know what we do before we get the day before we go on the ship, we party heavy. We party heavy. Then we get on the ship. We got a bunch of comedy shows. We got theme shows. We have award shows. We doing everything on the ship. So come on. And it's on the Norwegian Escape, I believe, I think.
I think it's the Escape. I think you're right.
Yes, the Escape. Ms. Miko, would love for you and your husband to come through if y'all can. But we are definitely, we got the DJs. We have some singing acts. Some of our R&B legends will be in the building. Y'all come on out. The show sponsored by the You Are Not Ready Ultimate Party Cruise, August 2nd through the 9th, 2026, leaving out of Miami. That's sponsored by Rob Jackson. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate you. And thank you, Dwayne Statton, a.k.a. Tall Guy. If you're not doing anything, Tall Guy does a night over at the Row House. And Tall Guy, what night do you do, brother? Y'all go over there and chill with my man, the one and only DJ Tall Guy at the Row House, man. He does his thing, and we appreciate him. And also, guys, if Chris Love is still in the chat room, Chris, I'll probably still come down, even though I'm not on the comedy show, I still might come down to Dallas, my wife and I, and we might hang out with y'all for those 4 days. So I'll definitely let you know. All right, Ms. Miko, that was enough time for you to get everything together, right?
I can just find some crip notes on the Big Beautiful Bill because it's a lot.
No, the thing with the Big Beautiful Bill, that's the issue, is the fact that they're cutting Medicaid. They're going to cut Medicaid out of it. They're going to do a lot of Section 8. I think that's what DJ Tall Guy's talking about. This is
Let me see if I could just bring it down to just that. This is
an horrific bill that's been proposed by the Congress, sponsored by the President Donald Trump, where it literally guts out social services for the people that need it the most. All us Black, brown, Latin folks, and some of the trashy Babylonians, and they're cutting out Medicaid. They're cutting out Section 8. There's a lot that they're cutting out of this bill. And if you don't have it, we can move on to the next story. But DJ Tall Guy's right, is absolutely right. Y'all look out for that Big Beautiful Bill. It didn't pass yet because they're still fighting in Congress with it. But if this bill passed, this is not going to be a good look for America, for the people that live in America, and the people that depend on all these social services. That, matter of fact, only takes up 1%, not even 1% of the federal budget. Section 8 is $25 billion of the federal budget. The federal budget is like $68 trillion. They send more money to the wars in Afghanistan and Czechoslovakia and all these other places than they do for the federal budget for Section 8. And it's unfortunate. But guys, what else you got, Ms. Miko? It's all good.
All right. Thanks for covering that story, Shawn, because that was a lot. I wanted to talk about Donnie anyway. Did y'all hear that Donnie threatened to deport Elon Musk because they was fighting again? Did y'all hear about that the other day? Let's get into it. So on July 1st, which was Tuesday, he suggested that he'll deport his ex-friend Elon Musk and unleash the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, on him to examine his government subsidies that Musk has in his companies. He said, we're going to have to take a look. Born in South Africa, Musk has been a U.S. citizen since 2002, meaning he would have to have been found guilty of a crime before deportation could possibly happen. He said, when I say he, I'm talking about Trump. Trump said, we have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? The monster that might have to send you back to Africa. Won't that be terrible if he loses out on his subsidies? Elon is very upset over the Big Beautiful Bill Act that we were talking about. Why is he upset? Elon said the other day, he said, it's ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign to help Trump. Electric cars should be the wave of the future. Now he wants to take that away. Trump says electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. So he's going back and doubling down on what he said to Elon when Elon was helping him with his campaign to win the presidency. So when he said he gonna get Doge on him and deport him, Elon later apologized to the president, who suggested that a reconciliation between the former allies is still possible. And he left the Trump administration back on May 29th. You guys know he had a big rant and he walked out of the office. But Trump said, don't play with me because I will send your ass back to Africa. We're going to launch an investigation on you. There's going to be no more rockets going to the moon. There'll be no more electric cars happening. We will not make that mandate. You will, when I'm done with you, you're going to be poor. That's what he said in a nutshell. I think between 50 Cent and Trump, I don't know who's the most pettiest. I don't know whose petty level is at its highest. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, Ms. Miko, I like to thank you for your professionalism and you getting these stories together. I appreciate you on that. Guys, remember in September, and I got to get a date for Miss Miko and Cindy J, we'll be bringing up Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team live podcast 2, Comedy in Harlem, guys. We're super excited about that. I don't know if I got a date from I don't know, Miss Miko, I don't know if you gave me a date yet that you're free on Saturday in September in the afternoon, but I'm gonna need a date so we can start getting this thing popping. And once we get a solid date and once all players are involved and committed, we will launch the date, and we would love for you guys to come on out and support us. If you've ever been to a Shawn Harvey Morning Show featuring Wake Up Team live podcast event, it's off the hook. Would you agree with that, Miss Miko?
Absolutely. We have a good time. A good time is had.
Okay, now, what's his name? Elon Musk, right? I do agree with the Donnie, as you call him. Deport his ass. He's causing ruckus, and the reason why he's so pissed, right? Because of that bill, Trump changed his mind and said that we're gonna take that whole subsidies to give you like billions and billions of dollars to transform just every car in America to electric car. He changed his mind, and I like that. I like that. Yeah, changed his mind. And Elon Musk is trying to interrupt the whole, actually the workforce in the United States of America. They're coming out with these robocars, and I want to know how you guys feel about it, because I think, unfortunately, if a lot of these, what's so funny, Ms. Miko?
I'm just reading something. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, there's an industry that might not last too much longer in America. It is in a very vulnerable position right now. And that is the Lyft and the Ubers of the world. Because a lot of these cities and metropolitan areas are allowing these robotic cars, autonomous cars, to now drive around and pick you up with no driver in it. And Tesla's doing a test run, I think, in Austin, Texas. They got a few cars out there. So not only is Elon Musk trying to get all of us to drive electric cars, and I'm not driving no electric car. I'm an old school guy. I want an engine car. Those electric cars can kiss my ass.
Yep. Yeah,
take your little plug and your little charger and stand over there. I want to go to the fill-up station.
Mm-hmm.
And then those stupid cars, they are not dependable like that. You don't have no charge. It's too much. But he wants everybody in the next 20 years to have an electric car to put more money in his pocket. Listen, the Uber has a problem. Uber got a serious problem. I don't know if they could hold back on these autonomous cars and these driverless cars, because what I'm hearing, these cars are really working really well. Now, the only thing that's going to stop this, if that car hits somebody, cause a major accident, then it's a wrap. But this Elon Musk got his hands in that as well. So I do agree with Donnie. Get his punk ass out of here. But Donnie gave him too much power anyway when he made him. You can't give somebody that much power because it's going to their head.
Yep.
And just to touch on that before Miss Miko gives her final words, or whatever she's gonna do. Are you guys okay with an autonomous car? A car that's Miss Miko, I'm not getting in no car that doesn't have a person in it. For me personally, I'm feeling weird about that. Like if a car pulled up and there's nobody in the car,
I'm not getting in that.
And they got all these sensors and lights and buses.
I'm not getting in that.
And then you get in the door and you get, well, it's supposed to be something.
The way
fly.
my anxiety is set up, I can't get in that. I can't control that shit. I'm not getting in that. No. I'll wait. I'll walk.
Or have a human drive you, right?
Yeah.
See, but the problem with the human being driving you, sometimes with these Lyft or Ubers, put a number 1 in the chat room if you ever been in a dirty Lyft or a dirty Uber car.
You gotta do Uber Black, baby. That's it. I'm not getting nobody Toyota Corolla. Period. You gotta do Uber Black. You pay for what you get. Pay an extra $10. Get a black car. What you laughing at?
Yo, get enough of Miss Miko. She on a whole different planet. She's like, huh? I don't do Corollas. I do. Yeah, that's Miss Miko. That is hilarious.
I'm not doing that. I need a black truck.
Miss Miko, can I have that line? That's funny. You not getting in nobody's Toyota Corolla?
Civic. I ain't doing none of that. The Malibus.
Yo, Miss Miko, those Ultimas, you ain't getting none of that?
Definitely not Ultima. No, the Centris.
Oh, I'm taking that. That's funny. I gotta have that. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Oh, you got me in tears right now. So funny. It's so real. She might be right. I mean, it's just another $10 and you get you can get the car you want. But I don't think, put a number 1 chat room if you're gonna get in an autonomous car. Put a number 1 if you're not doing it. Give me 17. Matter of fact, let me give myself a bunch of number 1s. I am not doing that.
Yeah, it's a hell no for me, dog.
And you already know, don't get it twisted. In the hood, bring your autonomous car around in the hood. They're stealing your car.
They definitely steal your car. That's gonna be the shuttle up and down the Ave. That's gonna be the shuttle.
Oh, that's funny. All right, guys. I think that Ms. Miko, I think we mission accomplished. I think.
Yeah, we wrapped it up. I gotta go anyway. It's 10:00.
Miss Miko, do you have any last words? Miss Miko, you available tomorrow or we're done? Because it's a holiday.
We're done. I'm not available tomorrow.
Okay, good. So, guys, I tell you what, I think that maybe we'll probably see you on Monday because it's the 4th of July. We've been totally 100% committed to you guys. We've been rocking all summer. So, yeah, I think tomorrow would be a day off and we'll come on back on Monday. I think I'm going to follow Miss Miko's lead on that. Yeah, you guys have a great weekend, and I guess we'll see you on Monday in blessings. But Miss Miko, you got the last word?
Yeah, I just want to say, you guys, it's a 3-day weekend. May your weekend be filled with happiness, love, fun, laughter with all your friends and family. Enjoy.
And you know, goddamn well, we're too old for fireworks.
Yeah, man. They already started that mess.
All right, stay away from the fireworks. Everybody in this chat room is too old to be around a goddamn firecracker, the jumping jack, and all these other things. Stay away from all of that. Okay, we're out, guys. We see you Monday. God bless you guys and stay safe. And we are out of here.
Later, Gators.